Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, the GFG, the Great Face Goat, and I have with me, like I always do, my brother from another mother, none other than Smitty Smash, aka the DOD. That stands for Deacon of Destruction. Holla at the people real quick one time, Smitty. Now, you know we ain't got no camera, so they can't see your head now,
That's
right?
I forgot. This is a whole vibe, bro.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's the sound of Biff right there.
Man, who is that?
Well, that's none other than our other co-host.
Who is that? I think he
Nothing
needs to
but
speak.
Biff sound on the ones and twos. Say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody?
Now today, I done cut my man off before he get started.
Got it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So today we got a special episode. You know, as we always do, every episode is special. But we have our first actual in-house guest. We have two, and I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourselves. So, madam, you can go first.
What's up, everybody? My name is Yoshe. Real name Yoshe. Ooh, government.
Uh-oh.
You better put it out there.
But most people call me Yoshe. I DJ. You can see me on social media. DJ_Yoshe. YOSHE. And I'm happy to be here.
All right. That was our first guest. We have another one in the building.
Hello, everybody. My name is Niecy. You can follow me on Instagram. I do dreads, braids, you name it. I do it.
You
so
do it.
it's at NESY.natural, NAUTRAL. So just go ahead and follow me if you want to.
You got me though?
I can try.
You can try?
I got a little grip.
Bad.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm
We
about
have
to get my
introduction.
bumps.
Oh, you gonna get the bumps? You don't say it right, man. It's bonks, man.
Bonks.
You know, he
Bonks.
had the audacity to ask me, Viv, how you spell bonks? He asked me, how do you spell it? I'm like, nigga, we don't spell ebonics. Like, what you talking about?
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Y'all got me on that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Like, how you spell that? I ain't know, but shout out to the South Florida.
Oh, yeah,
South
you know,
Florida culture, man.
All day, every day. But anyway, we have our subject today. You know, that we have our ladies in the building. We want to talk about competition amongst older and younger women, or I don't want to say older. Is that right?
Yeah, I want to say older.
All right, older. When I say older, I
wanna
mean,
say it.
you know, yeah, older, and more mature, and younger women do. And here's what I want. Here's what the question. Vintage? No, we're not going to use that. No, so we can't. You're so disrespectful, man.
Do.
We just got started. Let the spice build, man. Let the spice build.
Well, you know how I get hyped over the music. The music get me hyped.
Yeah, but we might have to change that music too.
No.
I'm too excited.
Yeah, he's too excited. That's that Bill sign. That's what it do to you.
I love it.
But anyway, I wonder, do women understand competition in the sexual marketplace, in the dating marketplace?
So rephrase that. You said women understanding competition in the sexual marketplace. What you mean? You lost me.
So let me rephrase the question. Do older women understand the competition that they are in when it comes to the sexual marketplace? So let me give you an example. Let's say she's 35. She has a kid, maybe two. Let's say two. She has two kids. She's not married. Baby daddies or a baby daddy. And does she really understand that her value has decreased in the sexual marketplace, in the dating marketplace?
I want to ask why you said
Yeah, like why does it have to be a value decrease? I think that everybody has their own thing that they're looking for and things that they value, right? That's why there's a variety of people on this earth. Everybody's looking for something else. Everybody likes a different look. So I don't think that woman has decreased her value, maybe to a certain demographic, but to the 50-year-old man, the 45-year-old man who has had his time, he's probably divorced. He is, to him, she's always young and fun.
Mm-hmm.
What does that have to do with anything? So I just think it's the perspective of the man of what they're looking for.
Fun?
Yeah, if I'm 35 and my kid is, there's people I know that are 35, their kid is in high school at this point, going on vacations, going on trips, living a wonderful life. Yes, to that 55-year-old man, when he takes her on vacation, they're having a great time.
So she got a sugar daddy.
Because that's 20 years.
That's not a sugar daddy. That's her man. That's her man.
That's her man. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So how
you guys look at financially stable men as sugar daddies?
No,
we didn't say anything about.
I'm just trying to understand.
We didn't say anything about finance.
No. So
I don't think finance was brought up. I had to
So
go
what
back.
is the sugar? The penis?
yeah, well, you were saying vacations.
We're talking about that powder, baby.
Okay, with this guy, but yeah, we were actually. I said that because you were referring to going on vacations and this and that. I didn't know if you meant are they in a committed relationship or are they just dating?
Yeah,
like what is this woman's
even in a committed relationship? Yeah, to that older guy, to where so. I think that a lot of women, whenever men are talking about a decrease in value, it may be to your cohorts. So to another 35-year-old guy who may not have any kids or is not prepared to get married and is looking for another 5 years,
right.
He's going to look for a girl that's younger because he's thinking, okay, I'm not looking to have a kid for another 5 years. I don't really want that pressure that she's looking at. Okay, my clock is ticking, so I'm going to go younger, right? But to an older male, that girl is young and fun to him. She's still sexual and sexy. She's a mature woman that knows what she wants, so he's not playing those mind games with a 20-year-old.
Right.
Not saying there's not mature 20-year-olds, but there's older guys that don't. There's older guys that don't want to be in the club.
It
so
all
they
go down to your preference.
Yeah, it's down to your preference. So you can't devalue, say her value went down because there's somebody else that values that.
So let me ask you this. So if we talking about that lady that's 35, had 2 kids and whatnot, multiple. Did we say multiple? Baby daddy? Just one? Okay, we'll just use one.
Just one.
One baby daddy. And you have this 55-year-old that you classified him as?
Yeah, just
Okay,
older than her, I should say.
Older than her?
It
I
could be
will
40,
do-
whatever. Older than her.
We'll use 55. So what will be what will be her her competitive advantage versus a younger woman that does not have kids and is just as free as her?
Her particular competitive advantage could be that man may not want kids or want more kids. She already got that handled. He may want a person that has already experienced certain things in life. The conversation is going to be totally different. He may not want to go out at night. He may enjoy a jazz brunch or lunch, and maybe she's not the type of girl that wants to be lit at the brunch all day. It just depends on that particular woman's personality. Yeah. So to somebody's going to see that as an advantage. There are even younger guys that like to date up, because of where they are mentally as well. So the value is really, I just believe there's somebody for everybody. There's somebody who values everybody, and I hate the way the internet is making it seem like if you aren't a certain shape, size, no kid, making a certain type of money for men and women, then you have no value. Yes. I don't like that.
I agree with you on that. Like, I'm so big on value of self.
Yeah.
Self-value. Self-value is like the biggest thing for me, because how can you value something more than yourself?
But some people don't even do that.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't even value themselves.
I think the majority of the population doesn't
they don't do that, because if you ask anybody if you ask anybody what they want in a particular person, majority of people won't even know, because they don't even know what they want.
Yeah, they don't
know what it'd be. They'll say generic things like, I want somebody to be nice, somebody to be generous.
I know
that's vague. That's vague.
Okay, well, not only is that vague, but what Miss Yoshe was saying, I would have to say she created just now what I see a lot of women do. She created less than a 1% man. There's less than 1% of men out there like how she just named them.
Yes.
No, there's not.
That are 55.
Yeah, 55.
Looking for a 35-year-old.
With 2 kids.
That has kids. And
one baby daddy.
I mean, I'm not saying that they out there just looking for a woman.
No, I'm just saying, like, how these men don't exist.
They do.
They exist.
Y'all are y'all dating?
No.
Dating pool for
not by that large of a margin. There are way more.
But all it takes is one. Everybody's looking for this large number of people that are looking for something. You literally just have to meet one person in this universe.
Okay, just one. Just one, right? But what if there's 10,000 of you, but only one of them?
We all don't live on the same street and in the same town, so it's okay.
But we talking about population.
But we talk about population. So
we all don't live. There's not a block of a neighborhood with only 35-year-old women with kids and they're surrounded by 20-year-old guys. It's just literally not like that. I feel like you can meet someone anywhere, and I think a lot of people have limiting beliefs. So your mind can only really attract the things that you bring into it. You know what I'm trying to say? So if in your world and in your reality, you have a belief that, man, ain't no guy gonna like me because of my shape, or ain't no woman gonna like me because I don't make X amount of dollars, then that's your reality. That's true. But if you believe in yourself and you believe you can have whatever you want and you desire, then that thing will appear for you. And it happens all the time for people. So people literally put on limiting beliefs for themselves, and you would literally, law of attraction, you attract that scenario for yourself.
So why don't the numbers support the information she just provided us with?
What numbers are you referring to?
Oh, that's a great question. What numbers am I referring to? Thank you for the alley-oop, by the way. Great pass.
Right.
Why are these women not married?
Same thing I ask sometimes, but I mean, it's just.
Talking to Mike. You're talking to Mike.
You said, why aren't these women married? Are you referring to the young women or the older women?
I'm referring to, it doesn't really matter, but in this particular situation, we're talking about the women in the mid-30s.
I mean, it's
30s,
just referring
period.
back to the media. A lot of people are looking to be a baby mama and being this baby mama drama. They like that type of attention, to have people in their personal lives, in their relationships, maybe because of the media. I don't know why, but I just say that, I mean, there's not a lot of women being their natural selves. They're doing it for the clout. They're doing it to have someone to, I guess, be behind them. The media.
So what? My bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
and that's a great point. I definitely do believe that we celebrate baby mama culture more than family and relationship. Because if you think about it, when a woman is pregnant, everybody goes bonkers, and then you look for the dad, and like he's not at the baby shower. Some of them they're not at the baby shower. They don't. You never see this man. Then all of a sudden, this dude is gone, and now you stuck with a life that's gonna forever be affected just by the single parent syndrome. That's riddled. That's devouring our foundation as a black nation, because the family is the first thing. And that's why we come out with a lot of those guys and girls that we don't like, because they didn't have that equal balance in the home. I'm not saying that all homes are perfect, but
let me say this.
That's that.
I believe that the reason a lot of women are not married is because women aren't the ones that propose, right? So the women can be wanting to be married all day. They could be like, this is the guy, right? If that guy does not choose to get married, the women have no choice. So I think there's a lower number of men that want to be married. That is why a lot of women are not married. Let me just finish.
I'm sorry. No, please finish.
Yes. So the women cannot be married to themselves. If we want to, we could do a commitment ceremony with our best friends and just live that life if we want to and support each other. But as far as women marrying men, the men have to support that. So a woman cannot initiate that. So the numbers in marriage really relies on the amount of men that want to get married, period.
So let me ask you this.
Men control that.
Have you asked what the criteria was for you to get married by that man?
Every man has a different criteria, and I think the men need to date the women that they want to marry. Stop wasting your time on girls that you don't want to marry.
So let me ask you this then. So why do majority of those women stay in that relationship for a long period of time and wasting their own time?
There's many different levels to that. A lot of things are how you grew up. You know, there's so many layers on. Did you get attention in the home? Did you grow up in a single family household? And sometimes it goes down to the father. There's girls that I know that they know that their dad was a hoe, or how their dad treated women, and it gave them a bad outlook on men. Just like there are men that have certain views on women, depending on the type of mother they were raised by. That breaks down on a totally different level. So if they're not trained, some people don't grow up in a two-parent household. Trained. Some people do not see marriage from men or women either. A lot of that stuff comes down the line. If you're from generations and generations of seeing that, you don't have a vision. And we don't have, the family shows that we even had in the 90s back in the days to even give people an example. If you really think about what's even in the media now, there's really no black family example. Yeah.
I see
so
that
I think there's so many, we can't pinpoint one little thing. There's like so many little things that contribute to it. But I think men control women getting married. Men have to know what their standard is. A woman, yes, she may waste her own time, as you say, but you can man up and stop dealing with that girl.
Or you can...
And stop scarring her for the next person. Yes, she could leave. But let's not act like men don't play games.
Well, so
there's so many other contributing factors that we can go on to.
Well, Ms. Yo, I mean, there are a lot of contributing factors. There are a lot of contributing factors. You are absolutely right about that. But now, you said men are not proposing. Okay, so my question to you is this. Why do you think men are not proposing?
That's the question.
That's the question. And it's like this. And let me give you an example. If I go in a store, right, and let's say I'm going to buy some headphones or whatever, and I got a line of headphones up here, all on the same shelf. I can look at them, and I don't choose any of these headphones. I choose the one in the middle. It's 5 of them. I don't choose number 1, 2. I choose number 3. I bypass 4 or 5. I just get number 3. It's the same thing in dating, marriage in this particular case. Why are men not choosing to, or in this case, why are black men not choosing to marry black women? That's the question, because at the end of the day, if you just admitted that it's on us to propose,
right? Then
why are we not proposing? Maybe it's because
they haven't been trained.
Could be that.
She said that too.
She said they haven't been trained.
Yeah, the men haven't been trained. They haven't seen a man in a household. A lot of men haven't seen a stand-up guy in their life and how they really treat a woman. A lot of men were not raised in two-parent households. A lot of men have a lot of men in their life that ain't shit, and they follow behind that. That is very true. And let's be honest. If you come from a family full of
what about the women
guys, that's how you're gonna be when uncle's like, get all them girls, boy, and they big that up for men. They do.
What about the women?
They big that up for little boys.
What about
women? Women are raised for commitment. Men are raised to get as many guys as they can. Do not
really.
I'm talking about in a general sentence. Don't put your personal feelings in it.
No. There's no personal
sentence. You know that it's true.
You gotta look at today's society. Today's society is wicked when it comes to female, especially with all the benefits that comes behind the female after marriage. Like you have to look at all the.
What benefits are you referring to?
What benefits?
Okay, so really, when you go into marriage, the female has that's really to please the female. So we're doing this, I want to marry you. That's really the female's ultimate vision. Like that's her ultimate goal.
Not all women.
Why would it not
but
be a man's goal?
It is as well, of course, and I'm not saying that men don't want to marry, but we're doing that ultimately to please the female.
You should do it to please yourself, but keep going.
Yeah, but then at the same time, I forgot what I was going to lead to. But with the bit, like when it comes to like divorce, the female has that edge to where she can
get more. She can get more in the divorce,
right? So,
and black women file for divorce more than black men do.
So it's that kind of scarcity of like, dang, is this really what I want to get into? Because of not knowing if the female is going to do right by.
I think that is the reason for prenups.
So
I think that is the reason for you to really get acquainted with the person. I feel like when people are dating, to be honest, they're not asking the important questions, right? Like, so I know a person who dates a non-black male, and when he first got into her life and he wanted to take her off the market, he brought those W-2s, he brought her tax forms. She really knew what she was getting into before she came off the table. And she's a black girl, and she's like, in the black community, that's not a thing. But in his community, that's a thing. You show the person as the man, like, I'm taking you off the market. Here's how much money I make. Here's what my portfolio looks like. This is what I'm bringing to the table, right? He didn't ask her for anything because as a man, he knew what he was looking for in a woman, and she had those things. A lot of men and women, I will say, don't really know what they're looking for. Like, they're dating and just going along with the go along. And then one day you're like, well, we've been here for 5 years, so we might as well. But that person you guys may not be in alignment and wanting the same things. And I think a lot of people aren't trained to know that marriage is a business. It is not really love. Love is in and out, right? So do we have the same goals in mind? Like, Are we really trying to build generational wealth? We're trying to raise these kids up. We're trying to do this and this. Like, are we aligned in those things?
All right.
So a lot of people get divorced because they're not in alignment outside of love and that I think you're cute and attracted to you. Where is our mind at? Are we even into the
So we're talking about legacy.
Yeah, marriage was strictly in the beginning, land, legacy, if you go way back into
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people now, we really just forgot about that. It was
Okay,
like,
so
love, I want to spend the rest of my life
majority-
with you.
Okay, so the way you thinking, do the majority of the females out here today's society think like that?
Because they want to get married, like you said.
Right, but
they built for commitment. Like you said,
legacy was lost along the way. It's not anybody's fault, men or women. It's that the elders, that has to be handed down, those lessons.
I agree.
Right
Absolutely.
now, a lot of people are like figuring it out because we're on the internet doing research.
Yeah.
But me and my friends talk about it all the time. There's certain things that we feel like the generation before us forgot to tell us on certain things. Yeah. You know, even like how to date as women or men. Nobody's really like, oh, you're going on that date? Here's some important questions to ask to make sure you guys are even in alignment to go to the next step. We weren't really, if you really, really think about it, nobody really taught you how to date, how to really, the things you should really look for in a wife. You like figure that out on the way later on.
So you had miseducation?
For a fact, I know I did. I did a lot of dating and, reaching around on my own. Because my parents, they're from the Caribbean. So, first of all, boys was out of the equation completely.
Yeah.
So, when I started telling them, there's this guy that I'm interested in. Oh, what does he look like? Where is he from? I want to know his parents.
Yeah,
and
what's his family?
Yeah. And they'll ask me these questions, but they'll never really tell me how to be in a relationship. Yeah. They want to make sure that they're...
This sound like they was asking the right questions.
It was the right questions, but at the same time, they weren't telling me like, okay, stay away from this or, protect this or, they were just telling me, basically to stay away from him or instead of trying to teach me how to be with him. And my parents have been married for 22 years, so they know how to be in a relationship in and out. So for them to sit there and explain that to me, I would have appreciated that more going into, talking to men, so I guess that's just kind of more.
So there was no training. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, on both sides, there's no training. There's a big gap.
I just said no training.
I agree. There's no training. There's a big gap.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I can agree to that.
I definitely agree with that. Okay. So no training, right? We will admit that. And I agree with you on like 90, probably almost everything you said. I absolutely agree with you. Now, here's what I want to point out, though.
Yes.
No training, right?
None.
Okay.
No,
on both
no
sides.
training.
On both sides.
Yes.
On both sides?
Yeah, on both sides. I'm gonna give you a promise. I'm going somewhere with this here.
All right, go ahead.
Who raised these boys? Predominantly mothers. Black mothers raised these boys and these women. So the message that I want to send out is that when women operate, and it was by force in a masculine role that's meant for a father, look at what you produced. Look at the men who are not marrying, who are not proposing. Look at the men who are not ready. So, also look at the women who are not ready to be a wife. Look, this is really, it falls in your lap as far as when it comes to women in the sense that you are not fit, designed to do this job. Because you haven't been trained. Even when I see successful athletes that, get on stage, get out there and praise their mother because they had a single mother and we made it. Mama did this and that. But even those men struggle in relationships. Even those men have multiple babies. Even those men are just still not figuring this thing out because they didn't have the proper balance.
So I'm hearing that you're blaming the women for
No. That ain't what I do.
We didn't hear any blame.
No, I don't blame the women.
We don't blame.
I don't blame the women.
I just stating facts.
They hold the accountability.
I hold the women accountable, absolutely, and I want the women to understand. Look, y'all dropped the ball because you wasn't meant to handle this here.
Okay, right.
No, I'm going somewhere. I promise you, you gonna like it. Unlike what's out there on social media now, the buck stops with the man. So everything that you just said, I agree with. If there's no father in the house, you don't have the proper balance. You ain't gonna have the children ain't gonna see the life the right way. Not only that, I think that we as black folks need to understand that the black men were attacked. Our families were attacked with crack and in the 80s and all that stuff. We were attacked.
Not just in general, the masculine was attacked.
Masculinity was attacked.
Masculinity now is attacked.
Don't even get me started on
that. We gonna go there. So, but so here's where I put it in the woman's hands. Do you recognize that? And if you do I don't think that women do, but if a woman does recognize that, I don't see the respect for black men, period, because they never saw it.
So it's not that they don't recognize it. I feel like they do recognize it, but they choose to take it in their own hands.
Okay.
And that's not the proper place that masculine should be exhorted from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when a female is taking on that masculine and feminine role,
it's an imbalance.
It's going to clash. You actually need that male figure. That male figure was absent in a lot of the situations.
But just like how Ralph said earlier, by choice, she had no choice at that point.
Yeah, our predecessors, I'm going to say ancestors, but our mamas and grandmamas.
Mm-hmm. Right.
No, but what if the roles are flipped? Where
the single father?
Yes. How do you?
Well, it's still an imbalance there from an emotional standpoint, because it'd be full of masculine, analytical type of teaching.
Yes.
And that's what he can teach. I mean, if that's what his MO is, if it's something else, but I'm just saying for general, that's what be. And then you have women that's just be really in their masculine bag all the time and can't transition out into that feminine role. And now when you out there trying to date and things like that, you wonder why men are not being with you, or you're not finding the exact man, because you're so much into your masculine energy because you learned it from your dad, or you learned it from your uncles or your brothers and things like that. It's hard to switch that off.
So we can really boil it down to a broken family.
Yeah,
broken family.
Inside, both sides.
And I do think that a lot of the points that are talked about or discussed today as it goes into black men and the attack on the black masculine from back in the days, I watched documentaries from the 70s where those men are still complaining about, like, the white man did this, and you know,
because he did.
Well, let me finish
okay,
my point.
I cut y'all.
I feel like at what point are the men gonna reconcile that? Because as women, there's certain things like, okay, we out here by ourselves. What are we gonna do? And women have came together. Trust me, there's so many femininity groups where women have identified the fact that they're in their masculine a lot.
That's what they want.
And how to get out of their masculine. Women do not want to be in their masculine. Trust me when I tell you, I could lay my life on this sword. Right, but when you are with a man, right, a lot of these same men that you talk about, it's like a thing that just keeps, I'm losing my word, it just keeps repeating itself, right? So that same man that you're talking about that didn't have the dad in his life, right? Mm-hmm. These same women want to be with a man that's masculine, right? But now I'm with you and you feminine. You and you're feminine as a man. Absolutely. Trust me, it's out there like that.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So now I got to boss up all the time at home and at work. I'm exhausted. I mean, not me, but like when I listen to my friends talk, you know, or I've dated guys like that where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to run this show. Like, this ain't gonna work.
Let me ask you this. When you say they in a feminine bag, what do they do? They classify that the men are in a feminine bag.
Yeah.
Women want a leader. Like, I want you to lead. I want you to say no. I want you to have a plan. You know, I don't want to be like, hey, babe, I think you should do this. I don't want to always come up with the plan. I don't always want to pick and choose. Uh-huh. You know, sometimes I want to do more of the softer roles. Women don't want to be the boss at home. But there's certain times, and I literally witness some of my friends in relationships where it's like, she got to do everything at home. The baby's over there like, daddy juice. And you like, babe, get him some juice. And I be sitting there annoyed like.
But you just said you wanted a leader, right? Leaders delegate, right?
Play.
Don't play.
I mean, that's a
delegation.
That's a delegation.
Is that a yes or no?
But if she's already doing something, she's already cooking the dinner and doing all the stuff with the kids.
You can add
everything.
Extra.
There's women that got to manage the books because he's not financially literate. Then she got to go to work, and she's already making more, which is fine. But now she wants you to, when she comes home. It's not all women, because all women don't make more. But when she comes home, she wants to be a little dainty, a little girly. That's when you gotta come up now more. And we're always gonna match.
But didn't you say earlier that relationships was a business? What CEO do you know don't delegate since it's a business?
Well, if the CEO also has to step up and be a leader,
can you
and
answer my question?
Get his hand dirty. If the CEO can't get his hands dirty, then do you even really know what the task is?
What CEO doesn't delegate? Since you said that relationships are a business.
And these are the same women that are filing for that divorce because they stressed out.
Okay.
No, but I'm telling you, that's how it goes.
I'm just asking.
They're in the household where they are the CEO and they're running everything. That's why companies lose employees.
You as a CEO of your corporation, right? You delegate, right?
I also can get my hands dirty and do the job.
Do you delegate?
No, I
yes
don't
or
delegate.
No? You don't delegate?
I delegate certain things, but I'm also supportive of my people. Okay. If I notice that someone can't do something or they're busy at the moment, I'm not going to pile on top of them and add stress to them. Mm-hmm. So you're not helping your situation. You're actually proving the point of why some women don't want to get married because they get with these men that can't get their hands dirty.
So that's what I was going to head to.
Yeah, like
so as far
you want it to be a
you
give or
take. Be able to choose your significant and know what you're getting into.
Right. There's some women that I know women that will go out and cut the lawn and do all that stuff because that's what they like, and the man is in the house cooking because that's his strong point. Mm-hmm. Right? It's just where are we meeting each other at? We can't all be one thing.
Okay, so with that being said, a lot of females cannot handle that masculine figure or that dominant role and be told what to do because they feel like they gotta have that say so.
They want all
that's
the women.
When a woman doesn't feel safe with your decision making.
Yeah,
she got to step up. So she don't feel safe.
Okay.
So why would she continue in that relationship?
That's a great question.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Go ahead.
When a woman doesn't feel safe, I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. So remember what I said earlier. Women didn't have an example of mother, father. Neither did men. So right now, the problem that I think that we have is women are in their masculine bag. A man, even though he may have displayed feminine traits, he is also in his masculine bag. Those two energies are going to collide.
Yes.
Always they're going to collide. So, as you said, she doesn't feel safe. But the reason why she does not feel safe is because he's not making the decisions she wants. And therefore, I don't like the decision he made. Even if his decision was not going to lead you in the right direction, you still would have to submit because that is your husband
and your leader
and
that
you said you want. But hold on. Let me go. It sounds like what you said that you actually want is a man that's going to get everything right.
Right.
No.
And that's not going to happen.
No.
So would you still submit even if you know it's going to be wrong or it ain't going to go right? If he's going to take a chance and it's like, I don't know, babe, but is you going to rock with him or is you going to
I think it's all on history. I think it's all on history as well. Like, how much do I trust your decision making skills? Now, I will say when I say a leader thing, when you're in a really good relationship, there's certain things that you're going to lead on, and I know my husband's going to lead on.
Facts.
Right. But in that particular thing, whatever it is, if I truly trust you and I know that's your strong point, I'm going to go with your plan, right? I may make some suggestions. I may make some tweets. I may ask questions for clarification. But if I trust you, then I truly am going to trust you in that. But I will say just really quickly, all women don't want a yes man. I like a man that's going to tell me no about certain things because I know that, nah, babe, we can't buy that because XYZ 1, 2, 3 in the future. Cool. Yeah, tell me that. You know, so all women do not want a yes man. Trust me, there's certain levels of respect that can be
stop
simping. And all women.
If you're a man listening, stop simping. Women do not like simps. I keep telling y'all that, man.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
What you guys classify as simps? Because I seen a guy classify simps as opening the door for a woman. I'm like,
no, that's crazy.
I'm like, y'all
that's
really
nuts.
taking the
that's
simping
crazy.
term.
That's crazy.
Too far.
He ain't got no manners.
Yeah, he ain't got no manners.
He definitely wasn't trained.
His mama ain't raised him right.
I was just about to say he need a mama in his life.
He had one. She ain't raised him right. She probably had one, but he ain't raised him. She ain't raised him right.
But yeah, we do. Like me and my friend were talking about that today. She just mentioned something that she wanted from a guy. Like she was like, oh, I like these shoes. And he went out and got them, fine. But he was like, I can get them for you in multiple other pairs or whatever. But she's like, it's not about that. Like she wanted him to say like, no, I got you one of those. Like we could do something else. Or I'm trying to work on this, so I'm not going to spend that extra money. And she was just like, I felt like if I asked him for everything, we would end up being broke one day because he's just going to buy me all the things, you know? We need that container to like hold us in sometimes because women can be whimsical and there's things that women add to your life. A lot of men are too rigid and you do need a woman that's gonna let you have some fun. So it's equal balance.
Well, my little
like
go ahead.
I know what she said about men being rigid, and he needs like he needs a woman that's gonna like take him out their shell. I agree with that.
Man.
It just I don't know.
That's interesting.
I like it because I mean I know someone that's kind of rigid sometimes, and taking him out his shell sometimes it's like, oh, I didn't see this side, and I'm like, oh, I like this side of him, So
yeah, who can that be?
I wonder who that is. Who could that? That's another show, right?
No, yeah, that's a whole other show. But anyway, we're gonna get back to it. My perspective is that all women want a man to lead until we tell them what to do. Then it's pushback. That's my perspective.
Boom! I wish we had a bomb sound right there.
We got the gunshot. We got the gunshot.
You got the gunshot.
Put a little sound effect for them because they want.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's what I believe.
I believe that's.
So
I understand you're saying it in a general statement, but not all women are like that. So you got to know if you're with a person that's just argumentative argue for argument's sake.
Well, I got to slow you down. When you say not all women are like that, put a percentage on that. Just a random percentage.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't like to state. To state things as facts that I know aren't facts.
Well, I talk in general.
Yeah. But I was saying general.
I respect that rather than just throwing a number out there.
I throw a number out there.
No,
why not?
I'm saying 95% of women want a leader. Want a leader until you tell them what to do, and then it's all of a sudden pushback.
You're just not compatible with that person.
No, it ain't that. Then y'all ain't compatible with nobody. Because why you ain't getting married?
At the same
y'all
time,
ain't asking.
Because you don't qualify. It's just like a job interview. It's like, yeah, sorry, we just sent you to go home papers.
Trick for everyone out there who doesn't know what they want. For you to know what you do want in life, you got to know what you don't want, right? So when you're on a date, most people, when you're in the dating field in life, like when you ask somebody what type of person they want, nobody really knows. But I was watching this person that I like on YouTube, and she was saying, when you know what you don't want, it automatically lets you know what you do want. So I think people have to first identify things that you really don't want, that are red flags for you, that are no-goes for you, and eventually you'll find the person that you do want.
So if Smitty says 95%, I say 90%. So I want to get back to what he said. So when a man imposes his leadership, shout out to the DOD, Deacon of Destruction, he came up with that statement. I love that. When a man begins to impose his leadership in a relationship or in a marriage, whatever the situation may be, this is when you get a lot of the pushback, because women today, black women, especially in general, I'll say 90%, are not willing to submit, are not willing to get in line. But
because they don't feel safe. They don't know if you can make that right decision. They don't know if they can tear off their individualism and then be under one umbrella and be under one team.
Question.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
When you say
my
submit,
bad.
sorry.
No, you good.
When you say submit, what do you mean by submitting to a man?
It's not even complicated, but I think that because
it hasn't been taught,
because it's been triggered, because it's a trigger word for a lot of women. They think of, they get fearful because of this. Oh, I want to feel safe. I want to feel this. I'm not going to submit ultimately to a black man because I don't trust him. I'm not safe with him. I don't think that he's going to make the right decisions, et cetera, et cetera. So therefore, they're not willing to submit. Submission is simply, if I'm the leader, you're the follower. That's at the end of the day. Now, what women fear is some type of slavery, some type of abuse. The numbers don't support this stuff, but it's like, black man gonna do this and that, and so on and so forth. And I see in general, black women just ain't trusting black men. That's why they don't want to submit.
I would say my definition is for submission, losing your individuality for the greater good of the purpose. And that's the reason why I say what I say, because a lot of women, like I'm sticking with my 95. I'm just gonna throw a number out there. I'm sticking with my 95. A lot of 95% of women are afraid to lose their individuality because they don't know anything different, because they haven't seen a collaboration like that. I'm using collaboration for a reason. I'm not saying partnership, because it's not equal. It's not equal. We're not equal. It's a collaboration. It's like, hey, yeah, you got to fill in these voids. I got to fill in these voids. But at the end of the day, if you want me to be your leader, the buck stops with me. I make the final decisions. I get your input. You do have influence with submission.
Right.
And the thing is that for me, submission is one of the most powerful things outside of bearing a child that a woman has that women don't understand, and they really need to explore a little bit more. I can't tell you because I'm a man. I can just tell you from what a man perspective, what it looks like. And when it shows, that's that glow. That's that interior glow that you have that is just, it shines. It's that internal happy. It's that untapped happiness that's deep within you that probably nobody has touched because you never gave them that opportunity to submit to them. Only women that have done that can tell you that. I know that when I see it, it's the most beautiful thing in the world, and you will get everything.
I'm tapping.
Yeah, you will get if you could tap into that, you will get. There's
nothing a man won't do.
There was nothing a man won't do, and that's not saying he's a yes man. He's still gonna be a man, but he's gonna be an extra strong leader for you, and you gonna elevate him to higher heights.
So I've been trying to find a word to counter submitting because I realized that females take it in a aggressive way, like bow down, slavery type deal. So to counter it, I came up with high value. So basically, of course, a female is looking for a high value man, but when you get with this high value man, do you really value him? You get what I'm saying? Because when you value that significant other, you're going to naturally submit. Just for the simple.
I agree.
That's clear. That value word, that's key for me. So I feel like that should tap on that submitting nail.
See, I like you going to your thesaurus bag. I'm gonna just keep it
I'm gonna keep it all the way up.
I'm gonna keep it.
So are you guys doing things? I think that a lot of people have to understand that if the woman that you're with is not submitting to you, either it's a conversation that needs to be had, it's either inner work both of you need to do within yourself, or you're just not being consistent or done enough to have that woman really trust you to submit to you, right? Like nobody's going to submit to a person that they don't trust. And I will say on the end of men, there's some men that I think could be really great, but you're super inconsistent. So a woman ain't going to trust that little shaky energy. Right. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's not always on the woman. There's guys that are so great, but you're super inconsistent with that woman. So she's not going to allow herself to just fly free with you because at any moment you can be gone. You've shown her that already. Right. So a lot of times it's what have you shown that woman?
Could you bring some more clarity to consistency?
So
what does he need to
just showing up, right? So whatever you say you're going to do, either do it or communicate that you cannot. Plans have changed, things like that. Disappearing, that whole ghosting thing that happens. You can't start on a high note with someone. Like the way you start something is the way somebody's going to expect it to be, right? So if you are going on spending quality time with each other every Thursday, and that's the way that the relationship started, and then 2 months in, I don't hear from you. And then you come back. And we just in that whole little cycle that people have of going and coming back. Now I'm not gonna trust you. It could be inconsistency on a lot of different levels. You could be inconsistent with yourself. If I'm watching you as a woman and in your personal life you're inconsistent with your own self and your own goals. You shaky over there with yourself. So now I'm supposed to trust you, and you don't even trust yourself.
Yeah, you bring up a good point.
No, that's
a hell of a good point because I it's funny that you said that because I definitely believe for men they should be upfront off the ripper, like right off the ripper. Like you should tell them like, hey, I got a blueprint, and this is for me. My structure is my spirituality, my purpose, and then the wife, and then if I have kids, the wife bumps down to 4 and the kids are 3. And if you can't align with my purpose, then I'll tell them my purpose and things like that. But if you can't align with my purpose, we can't work out. And I need you to, and I use the word submit vigorously.
Yes.
I use it. I like you have to submit or this won't work.
This won't work.
This will not work. And especially since I've learned myself, got myself in line, got myself disciplined on and on trusting the process. That's what it is for me. So if this is what you want,
I like the being clear, because sometimes some women don't even know what they're submitting to. Like, what am I submitting to?
right?
I like.
Because,
go
This is the last thing, because like we can have that ambition. Ambition is good, but if you ain't got no process with that ambition is dead. So if we still working through the process, and I tell you the process, and I tell you the blueprint, let's just follow it and let's just go with the ride.
So the name of this show is "Ladies, We Not Your Enemy," right?
Yes.
And I really wanted to. I'm glad we chose that name, because I want women to understand we ain't beating up on you, but we are pointing out facts. And some of the things that Ms. Yoshe brought up were factual, right? And when we talked about leadership, I love what you said, because I tell men often that a woman is looking at how you treat yourself. Mm-hmm. So if you can't lead yourself, how can she submit? See, men are running around, I'm an alpha male, submission and this and that. They're running around saying these things, but they don't even know how to submit to themselves.
No discipline.
So no discipline. So when we talk about the family dynamic of not having that proper balance of mother and father, men need to learn, okay, bro, I can't just sleep with everybody. I can't just do, where's your discipline at? Where's your control at?
Unless you're in a polygamy relationship.
Oh, unless you're in a polygamy relationship, but you still ain't sleeping with everybody.
Right, that's
still
it all depends on how big the village is. You know, they say it take a village, my nigga.
I hear you. I'm all with you, but at the same time, you ain't finna be walking down OBT just,
well, we ain't gotta be on OBT though.
You can be walking down Rodale Drive. It don't matter. You can't just be putting your thing into everything.
If the key fit.
Oh no, you don't turn it.
You just saying,
let me relax. This is why this is the DOD.
Not
this is why
you gonna make it unlock.
Right.
That is true.
Trying to go in every little rusty lock out there.
That's why he's the
that's why you gotta. That's why you gotta pop the lock.
Oh no.
But listen, since you brought up polygamy,
let me relax.
I do believe that there are benefits to certain cultures with polygamy. I will say that. I do see benefits, right? But I do believe that not everyone can handle polygamy.
Absolutely.
There are people who cannot, especially when I see a lot of men be like, I want to be polygamous. It's like, you can't handle yourself. You can't handle the one household.
First off,
now you want 2-3 households. Like, don't even play with yourself.
First off, if they ever come with you with that energy that you just said it with, you should run away from them.
Don't even entertain a conversation with that.
I want polygamy. Nah, dog.
Nobody's ever presented to me, but when I see guys like arguing down the facts, it's like.
Yeah, I mean, the facts are great, but can you handle the burden or the responsibility?
That's a huge responsibility.
A huge responsibility.
It's too much.
Starting with emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you handle all that?
Yeah, that's a lot of emotions to juggle.
I mean, you got. Let's say you got 2 wives. You got, both. Women, y'all sync. So both of them on their period at the same time.
Oh, that's easy. I just get out the house.
Now, you gonna get out the house, or you gonna get out the house for the whole week, 2 weeks?
Yep.
Or are they back to back?
So damn.
Yeah,
that's a little bit.
So one week, the other week. So you just gonna abandon the other one.
You can't run away from that, bro.
Like, bro, it's a lot. Then the emotional roller coaster they go on, bro. You sure you can manage all that?
Man, we can. Man, we got patience, baby.
And the responsibility.
We got patience. We got patience over here.
Absolutely.
And we disciplined.
So you want to be polygamous?
You said the benefits. What benefits do you see you can reap from it?
Yeah.
So if I was a man.
No. We talking about you, Yoshe.
If I was a woman. Well, I am a
you
woman.
are a woman.
I am a woman. Sorry. She got a little long. It's the wine. Sorry.
Yeah. We're a little spice over here.
That's that feel good.
Yeah.
So as a woman, right?
And give us both.
If I am in a position, I know women that have baby daddies and they're cool with the other baby mom, and they already are doing a thing where the kids are together and they're sort of in a polygamous relationship without the guy, right? Mm-hmm. It would benefit that household to be together, right? The guy that has kids with 2 women, granted, if they don't, each one of those women don't have a kid with like another guy, because then you got to bring another guy in and his other baby mamas, whatever, right? So let's X that out. Yeah, but let's say it's one guy, he has 2 children with 2 different women. That household would be beneficial. For that man, it should cut him off from being with other women. From what I see in the polygamous community, like the women choose the other women that get invited because they have to like that person. So it's not like, oh, I think she fine, babe. She finna come home, because it's like, excuse me? Like, what value does she add to this group that we're building?
Right. Oh, let me ask you, because I've been thinking about this all day. For like 2 days. About 2 days I've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
Do you think in the state that black relationships are in, that polygamy is an answer for the problem that we see of no marriage, no relationships, you know?
Ooh, speak on it.
Speak on it. Talk on it.
Talk
Yeah, I just asked the question. I don't get the answers.
If you speaking like religiously, in the Bible it just says that a man and woman should be together, yoked as one forever. So that is just how human nature is set up to be. When you bring in another man or another woman, that's just gonna be clashing altogether. Like as far as like I said at the beginning, emotions, and then you know, what if one wife feels like she's not getting enough attention, or one wife is doing more work than the other? Then someone else is gonna either approach the other, or like you said, when it comes to baby mamas, and then they come in together, and you know, being good with the kids. At some point, I feel like there's going to be some kind of clash.
Or
like
what if one of the wives are cool with everything? I mean, what if they talk their problems out about not getting that attention and they solve it? Or what if the other woman says, hey, I'm doing a little bit too much. These are my feelings. These are how I want to express it. And they handle it with a solution.
That can happen, but I think a lot of people have to do the inner work to be comfortable with themselves first, right? So if that woman has to identify, like, why do I feel that way when she's spending time with him? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say? Whereas me, I'm like, yes, I get some free time, you know, like, so you have to see, does the benefits outweigh, you know, the negatives of the relationship? I do think it's a very specific situation. I do think only specific people would be able to handle this type of lifestyle. But for the kids, it's a benefit for the kids.
Within a black community, I would see it beneficial if our minds was at the right capacity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now, especially in the black community, the minds is not there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do see it leading to with the mind state with it being today, that'll be corruption.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. The minds have to definitely be right, and I think ancestrally. First, I want to answer this question, but let me preface my statement by saying.
Yeah, go ahead, because you about to go in.
You
I already know you about to go in.
You saw my eyes.
I saw it.
He saw my eyes.
I wanted to get mine off. I was like, bro, he about to go in. But go ahead, bro.
I'm married, happily married. You know, I've been married for what, 16 years, 17 years?
Since you was 12?
Pretty 14, really. I met her 14, got married when I was 20, had our first kid at 22. Okay, so I'm not looking for a polygamous relationship. But however, I will say that ancestrally, that's a part of the black culture, like our history. Because I only brought that up because as she brought up a man and a woman being yoked together. Well, I'm thinking about the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob, that started with Jacob, and he had 4 wives. You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking about David and all the wives he had. But these are and let me say this: in the Bible, these are black people. All right, yes. These are clearly black people. There ain't no debate. We don't have to argue that. No. It's facts. Ancestrally, that's what we did. If a man could sustain and have multiple wives, he did. But as I might say Smitty, but as Smith said, the way the state of the mind is now and the way the culture is now in our community, that. I think it's a solution. It is the solution.
I do see the
solution. We're not ready for that
but
yet.
We're not ready.
You can't give a driver license. You can't let a 12-year-old drive a car.
Yeah, that's.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I do think that is the solution, because a lot of our women are gonna die alone.
Facts.
That's not the statistics, but keep going.
Okay. Well, you bring yours and I bring mine and I send it to you. But for them, and then I'm all about the purpose that's bigger than me. And I want our black nation to survive and be strong.
That I agree with.
Yeah, I definitely do. And I think that the whole monogamy thing, that was all made up. And I think we do live in a polygamous lifestyle. That's what our ancestors came from. It was a whole tribe thing. We all looked out for each other, and we just reproduced, and just for the survival of our culture. So I do think that polygamy will definitely kill a lot of problems that we have. because cheating is a huge problem. I think in our nature, male nature,
naturally,
it's naturally that we will go out and reproduce with a feminine woman, especially that gives off those pheromones that get us aroused and things like that. Then we're gonna reproduce with them. But if we can be cohesive as a unit, and we all know our roles in our organization or in this business that we're trying to create, as in preserving the nation, and not thinking about us, but thinking about the future, I definitely think that that it can definitely work and be very, very successful. Even I know we not as a whole, we not in that mindset, but I definitely think that
our females today are conditioned, and I'm not even finna say females, our males as well. We are all conditioned.
Facts.
We are not to say, when it comes to religion, but who's to say this is our natural religion? You get what I'm saying? At heart,
it's not our natural religion.
At heart, like I always said it, like, boy, I want like 12 kids running around.
Yeah.
About 4 baby mamas. That's just a natural vibe. But with today's conditioning, it's not normal. So when it just following that out, I don't see it.
I don't think that it's that. I think it's also like men can have as many children as they want, right? But we see, are these men being fathers? Are they being able to financially take care of it? Yeah. So I think that, that has to be something that is trained into a lot of people.
Mind state that we...
Because I asked my dad why he only had 2 kids. My dad was like, because I can afford 2. He was like, those summer trips and those things that you and your brother did, he was like, I knew you would not be able to have that life if I had more children.
But then that goes back to the group economics for me. I think that if we do start and we build, whoever the generation is that builds that base of the wealth, we are able to transfer it,
coming together,
and then we able to build our tribe a lot bigger, instead of all of our kids growing up broke and they don't have nothing because grandparents are giving them nothing, parents are giving them nothing. Now we start from the bottom all over again.
But if we transfer,
if we transfer it over, now we got that buffer. So just in case we don't need to work, now we got a buffer because we got a trust, we got a state attorney, we got a will and things like that. That's divvying up these things. They might be small, but it's a groundwork. Now you can go out and have 10 kids and live on a farm and grow your own food and things like that. And now you can live that polygamous lifestyle on your farm and really build a tribe, and you can self-educate your own kids to tell them the real truth about religion and polygamy and things like that.
But honestly,
we not there.
Yeah, we not
there.
See,
but that's a different mindset, though.
That's a dangerous lifestyle that I don't think they want us to live.
Of course they don't. Because it's powerful.
I tell my wife and
multiple
kids,
businesses. Everybody's a business.
Your strength is in your family.
That's the
foundation. That's where your strength is.
And men, I think that if a lot of men viewed themselves as, like, there's guys that I know that are in their 40s that don't have kids, right? But in the conversation, it was like, I know that my seed is gold, and I'm just not finna put it anywhere. Right.
Yes.
And I think there's so many men that don't even view themselves in that value of, like, my legacy is everything, and I'm just not finna put it everywhere. And I think that would be another control as well, like that self-control.
Yeah.
That knowing of, like, okay, whatever comes out of me has to be great, and it has to be brought up properly, or I have to be able to pour into this seed. Yeah. I think that if men, because we could talk about the issues of women that they have grown up all day, but that's the one thing I'm always like, if men really understood, like, as a collective, that to stop dropping these seeds all over there because you're not able to water it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a very, very important when it comes to dropping your seed and everything, because a lot of other culture. No, that was a good point.
It sounded funny when you said it.
Yeah, it did.
It sounded like that when I said it.
I was just mimicking what you were saying. Just picking up what you dropped down. That's it. But but in other cultures,
I had a spicy joke. I ain't even.
You gonna say it?
You picked up some seeds, man. Oh, well, listen, hey, check this out. Guess what I ain't done in a while? I ain't cut Spinach Smash off in a while.
Damn, man.
We finna get ready to cut him off. And it was a perfect time to cut off. We actually getting ready to wrap up this episode. And wow, I am so happy we had this episode. But before we do that, I got a little game I want to play. Not even a game. I just want to ask, I guess, 5 rapid questions right off the bat. There you go.
That was exactly my expression.
Yeah, 5 rapid questions. Now these questions are simple. Y'all just give me your first thing come to your mind. Okay. And I'm gonna ask. Then y'all can just go back to back. I'm not gonna ask. I'm gonna ask one once, and then y'all just keep answering back to back. All right. All right. So, first question. What's your favorite color?
Cerulean.
Damn, that's unique. I ain't never heard
of cerulean.
Well, that's like a silver mix with.
It's like this blue. It was in the 64 pack of crayon when I was a kid, and I just liked it ever since. Sorry, rapid.
Mine's is definitely like a turquoise blue, like an ocean blue.
Like an ocean blue? Okay. All right, so that's your favorite color. What's your relationship status?
Single.
Single?
Very much taken.
Very much taken. All right. All right, so this is a question. What is wrong with black men and black women in relationships today?
Rapid.
Wait, repeat that. Sorry.
What is wrong with black men and black women? What's the problem that the black man brings to the relationship? What's the problem that the black woman brings to the relationship today?
Rapid.
Both of them don't know themselves and what they want.
I agree with that, but I also would say that men are looking for a lot more, or women are looking for a lot more than what they really want.
Okay. All right. Now, ladies, what is your ideal man?
That's not rapid, but you can go ahead.
I would say someone that's just going to keep me safe, secure, not necessarily, from the bad guys, but just, I would say, financially, emotionally.
Okay.
That's in life.
In life. All right. Ms. Yoshe?
My ideal man is a leader, is someone that I can learn from, someone that I feel comfortable submitting to, someone that adds value to the family lineage, someone that really knows themselves. Someone that is I like learning from a guy. So someone who is a teacher that can teach me things.
Absolutely.
And someone who's comfortable within themselves and in touch with their emotion, like not emotionally blocked off, that can express themselves.
All right. Last question, but I jumped off. C squared plus S squared. She said safe and secure. I just want to throw that. I've been telling everybody that for years.
What, safe and secure?
No, C squared plus S squared. I'm gonna go ahead. And then you can do the cube part. You can do the cube.
Okay.
So C squared, I tell everybody, you get a woman with confidence and conversation. Every woman can be won with confidence and conversation. Well, not every, but the majority of women, 95%, with confidence and conversation.
They go with that 95.
Yep. And then I say, but once you get the woman, you got to be able to keep her. How do you keep her? She got to feel safe and secure. She just said it. I ain't prompted to say it.
Very true. Yeah.
Very true. I've been saying that for years. And now what's the cube?
But to get that safety and security, you have to do S cubed, which you got to give your man sex, sandwiches, and silence.
What's the problem? All right. Last question. Last question. Rapid fire. How much money does a man have to make to be with you in a serious committed relationship? If you want to be married or whatever. Get married.
I mean, I've seen my parents go from having nothing to being something.
Yeah,
so
that's hard.
I won't put a price tag on anybody, just like that, to be honest with you. Like, that's not something I feel like I can carry myself. So a man shouldn't have to not bring anything to the table. I don't know how to explain it. A man can be a home man for me. He don't have to bring anything to the table. And as long as I know he's there for my kids and he's keeping the house clean and I can come home and relax,
energy right
it's
there.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Energy. Oh, you're going to talk about that later.
What, say the question again. I started thinking about a bunch of stuff.
How much? Yeah.
Wait, sorry. I started thinking about a bunch of stuff.
She wants the origin of the word?
It's okay.
I started daydreaming, so I stared thinking about stuff, and I was like, wait, what was
that oil will do that to you sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Well, how much money should a man make in order to be with you? How much money does he need to make?
So I think that for me personally, I believe in hypergamy. So where I'm at or a level above, I do believe that it's not necessarily about a dollar sign. To me, it's like the value, right? So do you want more out of life? Like, are you comfortable where you're at? Let's just throw a number out there, like 50,000.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable there, or do you want more for our family? What other skills can we put into effect to make money? Because I'm a more person, so whatever skill I have, I'm putting it out there and I'm using it. And I would want somebody to be able to match that with me, or be able to help me grow my business because you have that skill that I don't have. So I'm just wanting a person that is at where I'm at or better, and wants more for our family and our lineage, and not just being comfortable.
Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. We have two beautiful young women who just decided not to answer that last question on rapid fire with a specific number, but we ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the GFG, the Great Face Goat, and I have with me none other than, like I say, y'all go ahead and say y'all a little piece.
This is my song, bro. I like this track,
I'm waiting
bro.
for you. Just write 4 bars.
I can't. I can't rap. But yeah, this is right. No, don't get you started. Not at all. This is Smitty Smash, aka Deacon of Destruction, aka DOD, aka.
I gave you a new one too.
Yeah, you did.
I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot. We'll figure it out. And I definitely appreciate our guests. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate my brothers. And man, we gonna rock this thing. This is just another episode that we just took off with, and I enjoyed it. What you got to say, big bro?
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Good show, good episode. You already know it's Louis V, Bell Sound. That's about it.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, did y'all ladies want to say something? Exit as we exit.
Yeah, final words. It's like
you can plug yourself, plug your business.
Thank you guys for listening. My name is DJ Yoshe. That's DJ Yoshe. After listening to this episode, I think y'all should all bust out your journal and get to know yourself. Meditate, do something. Every problem is not outside of you. Sometimes it's within you.
All right. My name is Niecy. As I said, you can follow me on Niecy Natural. Everyone knows me as Niecy Natural. What I learned from this episode is that, you should be willing to open up and dig within in order to find who you are. Like she said, open up that journal. I have a journal. I write in it almost every day, especially when I'm in school, just to see where I started and how I ended my year. And that's a good reflection. Just start there.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ladies We Not Your Enemy, and we are out.